So, you did it! You actually did it. You filed all that paperwork, you got the official confirmation, and your nonprofit is a real incorporated thing. Seriously, that is a huge deal, so take a moment and celebrate that. You've brought a powerful idea into the world.
But hold on a second. Let me ask you this. Now that the incorporation is done, are you really done? Is that it? Is the hard part over?
Well, if you think the answer is yes, you're not alone. But honestly, thinking you're finished at this stage is the absolute #1 mistake new founders make. It's a dangerous trap that can completely derail your mission before you even get started.
Okay, so let's really unpack this. I like to call it the finish line myth. So many people see incorporation as reaching the summit of the mountain. But the truth is, it's not even close. It's just base camp. The real climb is just beginning.
And here's the core misunderstanding that trips so many people up. All incorporation does is create a legal entity, in this case, a California corporation. That's it. On its own, it provides zero, and I mean zero, tax benefits. It is the legal starting line, not the finish line.
So with that in mind, let's talk about the 5 most common traps that founders fall into right after they've set up Basecamp. Think of these as the major pitfalls on the path that can totally sabotage your impact. The first one is the biggest. It's this assumption that your state incorporation automatically makes you tax exempt. Nope, not how it works. You need a completely separate determination letter from the IRS to get that 501c3 status. Without it, you can't give your donors those tax-deductible receipts, and you won't be eligible for most grants. Trap number 2 is what I call the rubber stamp board. You know what I'm talking about, right? You get your best friend, your mom, your cousin, great people who love you, but they just meet once a year to approve whatever you put in front of them. What you actually need, what funders and the IRS look for, is genuine oversight. That means a board with independent directors who meet regularly and aren't afraid to ask the tough questions. And that leads right into trap number 3, casual finances. It's so tempting to just use your personal bank account for now, but that is a huge mistake. It blurs the legal lines and raises massive red flags for the IRS about something called private inurement, which is basically you improperly benefiting from nonprofit funds. You have to have proper, separate systems from day one. All right, and the last 2 big ones. First, having no compliance calendar. You're just begging to miss a critical state or federal deadline, which can put your organization's good standing in jeopardy. And second, trying to do way too much too soon. You launch 5 different programs at once, spread your resources then, and end up doing none of them well. Focus is everything in the beginning. Now, all of these traps, they all feed into this really dangerous cycle. It's the fix-it-later spiral. It's this mindset that, oh, we'll deal with the bank account later, or we'll get the board sorted out down the road. But later has a nasty habit of turning into a full-blown crisis. And this right here, this shows you exactly how it works. It starts with a bad launch, where all those little foundational mistakes are made. That forces you into a costly fix phase where all your time and money are spent backtracking and cleaning up messes instead of actually serving your mission. And the inevitable result? No fund. You're not compliant, you're not grant ready, and you're stuck. I mean, this quote from our source material just nails it. If you are stuck in fix mode, you are literally blocked from going after grants. You're watching all these critical funding opportunities pass you by while you're just trying to get your house in order. Okay, I want you to burn this number into your brain. 27. What's so special about 27? That's how many months you have to file for your IRS recognition if you want your tax-exempt status to be retroactive all the way back to your date of incorporation. You wait longer than that, and you've got a permanent gap where none of the donations you took in were actually tax-deductible. Big problem. So let's get even more specific. If you're a founder in California, this gets even more complicated. You see, getting that federal approval from the IRS is absolutely essential, but it's only one piece of a much bigger compliance puzzle. So, at the very bottom, you've got the foundation, federal recognition from the IRS. This is what gets you that all-important 501c3 status. It's the key that unlocks grant funding and donor confidence. This is non-negotiable. But, and this is a big but, on top of that, in California, you've got 3 other agencies to deal with. There's the Secretary of State, who manages your basic corporate status. Then there's the Franchise Tax Board, which grants your state tax exemption. And finally, the Attorney General, who you have to register with to legally fundraise. Each one has its own rules, its own forms, and its own deadlines. So please, hear me on this. Getting that wonderful letter from the IRS in the mail does not mean you're good to go in California. It just doesn't. You have to go out and independently register and file with all 3 of those state agencies to be fully compliant.
Okay, that was a lot about what can go wrong, but don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. Let's flip this around and talk about the solutions. Let's build a super clear, actionable roadmap for creating a solid, grant-ready foundation right from day one. This is the path to safety and success.
So here it is, your 5-step plan for getting it right from the very beginning. Step 1, complete all your registrations. The IRS plus those 3 California agencies. Step 2, set up your financial systems immediately, separate accounts from day 1. Step 3, implement real governance with a truly independent board. Step 4, create that compliance calendar. And finally, number 5, focus. Just one core program. Prove you can do one thing exceptionally well before you try to do everything. And here's the bottom line. Most of these mistakes, yeah, they're fixable, but believe me, fixing them will always cost you precious time, money, and effort that you could have completely avoided by just doing it right in the first place. Prevention is so much cheaper than the cure.
So, I'll leave you with this one final question to really think about for your own organization, whether it exists today or it's still just a dream. Is its foundation truly built to last?